Thank you for watching. We're back with Manuel Gonzales III, and he's a candidate for sheriff there. Before we went for break, we're talking about incorporated areas, and it was just a question I had at that point, and I brought that in there. When the position that we're in, I know APD, we were talking about that a little bit, went through a lot of changes there with the DOJ coming in, this and that. And, you know, I think there is a perception that our law enforcement culture has somewhat changed in the last 10 years, and that could be due to the rise in crime. Now, this is how I brought that in. We're 47th in violent crimes, and that's not the fault of Bernalillo County Sheriff or APD. Crime happens on its own, and we're just kind of responding to it, being law enforcement. And that's my defense on the law enforcement side. 47th when you look at state-by-state ranking, we're 47 violent crimes. It's we're not so good there. It's in burglaries, we're 47. So what is your point of view on that as far as the crimes and stuff? Do you feel that it has gone up? Do you think it's going down? Do you think bringing more light to it might help? I mean, I know we're kind of in a position where we're in a border state. A lot of the drugs go over us. From the drug cartels, they go through us. So a lot of crime happens possibly related to that, I'm thinking, and I think you'll be able to answer that a little better. What is your perception as far as the crime goes? Do you think it's up? Is it trending downwards, going upwards?
Well, I don't have the numbers, but I mean, the perception is that.
Overall perception. I don't need exact figures or anything as far as statistics go.
I would say you're right. You know, I just heard 2 weeks ago that we're #1 in DWI fatalities in the whole country. So that's a fact.
Okay, so we have a problem.
So we have a problem, right? Yeah. So to me, it's like, what other than what we're doing already? And some of it's reactive, some of it's just enforcement, some of it's the DWI checkpoints, some are maybe the safe ride. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to figure out as a community, how do we better our situation? You know, they have the advertisement and DWI. So what else do we do? Educate. Do we have a obligation to educate very young in the school, because this is from generation to generation? Should we be doing it from the onset instead of waiting till somebody gets in their car, goes out and drives drunk, and then takes somebody alive or gets a DWI, and then maybe they start making bad decisions? Should we do it when they're young, instill that in our young people, and have them understand that when they're young versus waiting till they're making these decisions?
So education would be the key there.
It's one of the keys. Yeah. It's one component, yes.
Legislation, you think?
Legislation, policy, it can be internal, legislation's part of it. You know what, how do we deal with these people after they come back, and how do you ensure that they don't repeat?
And there's a lot of repeat offenders, yes, as far as DW. Why do we have such an epidemic in this country? I mean, this state.
I don't know, maybe it's job opportunity. It's a cultural thing. It's the same thing we were talking about earlier about maybe what's going on in law enforcement. It becomes a cultural thing. What's accepted, what's not. And how do we deal with that? And how do we change that culture? Well,
we should have been more strict, you think, in the past years, where we wouldn't have come to this point, because it's such a problem with people driving drunk all over the state. And I know Governor Richardson went on this campaign of DWI. You had billboards everywhere. It does help, and I think the DWI checkpoints. Does the Sheriff Department do the DWI checkpoint, or is it in collaboration?
It's in collaboration, but we do our own.
You do your own.
Yeah, you know what you were mentioning. There's always the enforcement part. There's a lot of DWIs getting out there, and how many times have you heard somebody having multiple DWIs? And I'm not talking maybe even 1 or 2. We're talking anywhere in the teens. So is there a revolving door issue? And it's not to point the finger, but we're saying, how do we remedy this as in the criminal justice system, in the community, so it's not putting people in harm's reach?
Correct.
So it's not a problem that law enforcement themselves can solve, because we're going to do the enforcement piece. That's the expectation, and our officers do a heck of a job doing it. and so do the other local law enforcement and state agencies.
I think the crime, and this is my personal opinion on that. No, the crime went up as soon as we saw the housing bubble crash.
Yes.
There was a lot of people out of work, and then that increases the crime. Most people don't look at the statistics. I
There's a
studied
correlation, right? And there always has been, right?
Well, in my opinion, there is a correlation there because you're looking at no jobs there, so individuals are going to resort to certain, illegal activities.
Yes.
So if I can put it that way, but it tends to, crime has a lot to do with the economy. They're both connected. If economy is doing better, then the crime goes down in some ways. And the housing bubble crashing has something to do with it. But these are all issues I think overall we can talk about it for a long time, but statistically, I think that has something to do with it. Overall, how's your campaign going?
It's going well. I enjoy the grassroots campaign. You have to be out there meeting new people. That always stimulates me. And
what are they telling you?
I'm hearing good things. People remember me from when I held office. A lot of good things I hear from the department. I got the endorsement from the association, the Sheriff's Association, which meant a lot to me. I support them, and and there's been some good things that have turned out as a result of them endorsing me, and I appreciate that.
Exactly. Yeah. You have a family. You have kids.
Yeah,
you have 3 kids. We're talking about
3 children, 2 boys and a girl. Beautiful wife that's in the process of applying for nursing school.
You have young kids, right?
Yeah, my boy's 14, my daughter's 13, and my youngest is 11. Yeah.
You're getting to that. I just went through my own teenage phase there.
I met your kids, and they're very good kids.
Yeah, they're good. I saw photos of them and stuff. So overall, they're all going to school here and stuff.
Yeah, they're all honor roll children, and they do good in school. My boy attends St. Pius. My daughter and son attend downtown at St. Mary's.
And you went to school here, correct?
Yes, I went to Rio Grande High School.
Rio Grande, wow.
Yes.
And then I think Northwestern. You went to CNM.
I did some graduate level work at Northwestern. I got my bachelor's degree at Wayland Baptist, and I got my associates at CNM.
In criminal justice.
In criminal justice.
So you have that background there as far as understanding how exactly everything works. It's not just you were a patrolman. You really did. You were in the Marine Corps, as far as I understand.
Yes, I had the honor to have served, in the Marines, and I did 4 active duty years there, and I loved it. And that was really the thing that really, I guess, spurred me into law enforcement here back in my own community. Is that just wanting to serve. And I've had that opportunity, and I started there without an education, and I have the people of the county and this community to thank for giving me that opportunity to get my education.
Yes, and you have a long career there, 21 years?
21
right?
plus years,
21
yes.
plus years, so you're accomplished. It was nice to have you on the show.
I appreciate you having me.
Wish you the best, and we'll come back as sheriff if you're in there.
I would love to.
So we'll thank you again for coming in. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
That's it. We're out of time. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.